On July 4th, America's Independence Day, the Royal Navy reported shadowing a surfaced Russian submarine as it transited from the North Sea through the English Channel. It was a Kilo-class diesel-electric submarine. While these are known for their stealth when submerged, this one was cruising above the surface, exposed. And that's not a normal move unless it's part of a larger message. British forces moved to track the vessel immediately. But here's the twist. US Navy ships were already nearby. As part of a scheduled high readiness exercise, American, British, and Dutch warships were operating off the UK's eastern coast. It was a joint drill, involving surface ships, aircraft, and likely submarine elements. And the Russian sub sailed right through the region during that exercise. Coincidence? Almost certainly not. This is what military analysts refer to as a signal operation. It's not just about movement. It's about sending a message, testing reaction times, and observing how NATO responds, and how fast. These operations are rarely about surprise. They're about surveillance on both sides. And make no mistake, this submarine was being watched from above, below, and likely from space. Let's break down where this happened, because the geography here is everything. The English Channel is about 350 miles long and only about 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, between Dover and Calais. It connects the North Sea to the Atlantic Ocean, and more than 500 commercial vessels pass through it every single day. But it's not just a trade corridor, it's a strategic choke point, just like the Strait of Hormuz or the Taiwan Strait. Why? Because it borders some of the most militarized coastlines in the world. The UK, France, the Netherlands, all NATO members. And on the other side of the North Sea, you've got Norway and the entrance to the Arctic. This is NATO's front door. And everything that moves through here, especially a Russian sub, is tracked and cataloged. Below the surface, this region is filled with undersea cables, sonar arrays, intelligence gathering systems, and anti-submarine warfare ASW infrastructure. Above the surface, it's scanned by satellites, radar, reconnaissance aircraft, and warships on patrol. For NATO, and especially the US, maintaining awareness in this area isn't optional. It's essential to strategic deterrence. So let's talk about the US presence. What exactly does America have in European waters? Let's start with surface combatants. The US regularly deploys R. Lee Burke-class destroyers, some forward stationed in Rota, Spain. These ships are multi-mission beasts, equipped with the Aegis missile defense system, advanced sonar, and anti-submarine torpedoes. During joint drills like this one, it's likely that one or more of these destroyers were operating in or near the channel, either visibly or just over the horizon. But the real game changer is in the air. The P-8 Poseidon. These are long-range maritime patrol aircraft designed to detect and track submarines. They deploy sonar buoys, use magnetic anomaly detectors, and, if needed, they carry torpedoes. Think of the P-8 as a flying submarine hunter, constantly scanning, constantly listening. And let's not forget what might be under the waves. While not publicly confirmed, US Virginia-class nuclear submarines are often active in the North Atlantic. These boats are fast, silent, and designed to gather intelligence, shadow foreign vessels, and, if necessary, strike. They often operate in coordination with NATO, but their missions are usually classified. The presence of these American assets, above and below, is part of what makes NATO so capable. It's not just about size. It's about coordination, speed, and technology. This isn't an isolated event. Over the past year, NATO forces have reported multiple sightings of Russian submarines in sensitive areas. Some surfaced, some submerged, some just suspected, but likely there. From the Arctic to the Baltic Sea to the Mediterranean, Russian naval activity has increased. And NATO, including the US, has responded in kind. The Pentagon has prioritized anti-submarine warfare, ASW, capabilities in the Atlantic. That includes expanded use of underwater sensor arrays, increased surveillance flights, and more naval exercises specifically targeting submarine detection and tracking. And there's a hidden brain behind all this coordination. AA-25, NATO's Atlantic Area 25 Command. It's essentially a maritime NORAD, a fusion center where real-time data is analyzed, submarine sightings are tracked, and response orders are sent to NATO fleets. AA-25 ensures that when a Russian sub shows up, in the Channel, the Arctic or near undersea cables, multiple navies are ready. That includes the Royal Navy, the US Navy, and increasingly NATO partners from Northern and Eastern Europe. A key piece in this undersea surveillance effort is AA-25, NATO's Atlantic Area 25. It functions as a real-time coordination hub linking multiple allied navies. From this command center, data from underwater sensors, satellites, patrol aircraft, and warships is analyzed and shared. Countries like the United States, United Kingdom, France, Norway, and the Netherlands feed into this system to track suspicious movements across the North Atlantic and North Sea. The mission: detect threats early and trigger response protocols in minutes, not hours. So why is Russia doing this? There are a few reasons. First, psychological pressure. These submarine movements create headlines, keep NATO on edge, and remind the world that Russia's navy still operates beyond its borders. Second, mapping and testing. These transits help Russian commanders understand where Western forces are, how fast they respond, and what kind of assets they deploy. Third, strategic signaling. It says, "We're not going away." But for the US, the response is clear: be there first. America doesn't just monitor the English Channel. It trains in the Arctic. It operates in the Black Sea. It maintains presence in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Because maritime power, especially undersea dominance, is a pillar of US global strategy. And when a Russian sub makes a move, there's a very high chance a US asset already knew about it, hours or even days before it surfaced. That's not just presence, that's deterrence. The English Channel may be narrow, but its strategic depth is immense. Every submarine that passes through, every warship that shadows it, becomes part of a much bigger story. One about deterrence, readiness, and geopolitical chess in one of the world's busiest waterways. And in this story, the US isn't just a spectator. It's a central player, watching, responding, and when necessary, leading. If you want to stay ahead of what's really happening beneath the surface, where submarines, warships, and satellites all collide, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and we'll bring you the next chapter as it unfolds.